Hi, I'm Matt Gallagher, Deputy Editor of What Digital Camera Magazine, and this is the Panasonic Lumix GH1 camera. Now, highlights of this camera include the micro 4/3 lens mount, the screen on the back, which is a vari-angle 3-inch screen, and most importantly with this camera is the full HD video mode, which also offers full manual control and stereo sound. Now, this camera is based very much on the previous Lumix G1 camera, but it does have some interesting benefits over this. One of these is the sensor. This is actually still outputting at 12.1 megapixels on your largest image, but is actually doing this from a 14 megapixel sensor. What this means is in the other aspect ratios that are available on the camera, we're actually getting a larger pixel count from those. So in our 16:9 and our 6:6 images, we're actually getting a bigger image from this sensor. Now, in terms of low light performance, this camera offers an ISO range of 100 to 3200, and for metering it uses a 144 zone multi-pattern metering system, which then offers intelligent multiple, center weighted or spot options with plus or minus 3 EV. Dust reduction is performed by the supersonic wave filter, which actually uses the supersonic waves to remove the dust particles from the sensor. Now, on the back here we've got a 3-inch LCD screen which offers 460,000 dots. As you can see there, it's mounted on a mount to the left, and this allows the screen to be rotated 180 degrees in that direction, and then a full 270 degrees across in this direction. This means the screen is viewable from almost any angle. Now, in terms of composition, not only have we got the LCD screen on the back here, but we've also got the viewfinder. This is an electronic viewfinder on this camera, and this offers a 1440 dot screen within this viewfinder here. And as you can see, just to the right of it, there's a couple of little sensors, so when you put your eye up to the viewfinder, it will actually turn the screen off on the back as well. Now, the most interesting thing about this camera is its movie modes. This will actually record in Panasonic's native format of AVC HD at 1080p high definition resolution, or it will record in a QuickTime Motion JPEG format at 720p high definition. This camera has also taken the sound very seriously. As we can see on the top here, we've got a stereo microphone built into the camera, and we've also got a port for an external microphone should you need it. Now, focusing modes on this camera, as we can see from the top here, we've got a single AF focus, we've got a continual AF focus, and we've got the manual focus from the selection button on the top here. Within the camera, we've also got options for face detection, for tracking, a 23 area focus system, a single point focus, which is then adjustable across the whole of the sensor as well. Now, another important addition to this camera is this new lens here on the front. This is a 14 to 140 lens. That works out in 35mm equivalent of 28 to 280, and that's one hell of a super zoom lens there. It's also got, as we can see, a little logo on there saying HD, and this is because this lens has been specifically designed to help for use with the movie functions of this camera. Maximum aperture on this lens is f4 to f5.8. It's got the anti-shake function, Panasonic's own Mega OIS system to give you a more stable image when taking your shots, and most importantly for this camera, the focusing is near silent, so when you're actually doing movie shots you won't be picking up any noise from the lens motors. Now, in terms of shooting modes, we've got a great number of options here on the top of the camera. We've got our regular creative manual shooting modes, we've got our manual shutter priority, aperture priority and program modes. We've also got this intelligent auto mode here as well. Now, this takes control of all of your main functions on the camera, leaving you free to concentrate on your composition. We've also got a range of scene modes here. We've got 25 scene modes for you to choose from within 6 different categories on there, and we've got a custom function, and we've got our movie modes as well on the top there. Also, in addition, we've got our film modes. Now, these produce some 35mm type effects for your pictures. We've got the standard, the black and white, nostalgia, nature, just about anything you'd want to give some really nice custom effects there for your pictures. Now, in terms of general build for this camera, it actually feels really nice in the hand. It is slightly smaller than most DSLRs. It's actually up to 9mm smaller than the smallest DSLR on the market currently, but it still feels very solid and very nice in the hand. It's got a slightly rubberized finish to it, and everything just feels really nicely well made. Now, the main menu system is really nicely laid out. There's icon sections on the left here, and they're colour coordinated so you can quickly find which section you need to be into and quickly find the function you're after. There are also a number of other menu systems, some quick menus, which, though very useful once you find them, can be a little bit tricky to actually identify in the first place. Now, in terms of performance, this camera uses a contrast AF system. Now, this has been known to be quite slow on previous cameras, but this system is actually very good. It's probably not as quick as the full AF systems that feature on digital SLRs, but for a contrast AF system, it does perform very well. In terms of fast shooting though, the burst system on this camera offers a maximum of 3 frames per second, which to be honest isn't that impressive, and something closer to 5 would have been more suitable for this kind of camera. The 144 zone metering system does a great job to ensure there's an even tone distribution and accurate exposure. In high contrast scenes, it does tend to bleach out some extreme highlights to maintain the detail in the rest of the image, which for most people is preferable. In daylight, the GH1 produces a bright and punchy image with a very accurate white balance control. However, for indoor lighting, particularly in low light, both the auto and presets modes can struggle to produce an accurate colour balance. Noise does become visible at ISO 400 and is prevalent at ISO 1600 and 3200. But due to some heavy noise reduction in the JPEG file, the noise is well suppressed and monochrome in its appearance. Both JPEG and RAW images appear bright and crisp with enough processing on the JPEG to happily use the images straight from the camera. The RAW files on closer inspection are slightly crisper, but the main benefits come from the white balance control and pre-process adjustment options using this file type. Overall then, the GH1 is a great camera, especially in terms of its movie functionality. It produces some jaw-dropping results, especially from its movies. The main problem just being its price. The G1 is now available for around £500, so paying nearly £1,300 for this model does seem a little excessive. Yes, you do get this great lens with this camera, but unless you're really going to shoot a lot of HD video, this camera might be a little bit too expensive. Overall though, we've given this camera 85% and it has achieved our What Digital Camera Recommended award.